It's your man, Pooh Nanners, your Texas caster and hype master.
And it's ThrillSeeker here in the flesh, sorta.
Hey, you know what? Digital flesh, it doesn't matter. As long as it's got cool anime hair, I am down with it, man. So,
hey, you know, who needs waifus when you could be your own? Right?
this guy gets it. I love it. I love you, Thrill. Today we've got ourselves some good playthroughs right now. You've heard me talk about Featherith. He's 12 years old. He'll be turning 13 real soon, so he'll be able to get into competitions. But he's the one that I think is going to be the best player in the game as this game takes off, as it comes out, and he's got more time to play it. He's recorded some matches with some other guys he was playing with today, so we can actually see how he gets into it. I've already shown Thrill a taste. What did you think of his shotgun action?
Oh my gosh, he's just got insane reflexes. You know, I probably, maybe not because he's 13, but maybe because he's 13. Just those reflexes are insane. Just those flick shots, moving his whole body around. It's super impressive.
He's got great game sense, too. We actually got 3 tips for him that we used in the last video that we did, and every one of them were the high-end tactics that I was using that I was refusing to tell anybody because I'm like, this is how I'm going to win all the matches. And he literally gives away all of my meta, and I'm like, no!
Right. You know, and that's pretty impressive, too. If you've got the actual mechanical skill, but then you have the game sense as well, that's what makes a good player. And he's so young, too. It kind of blows my mind.
He's got a great mind on him, too. He's able to, like, maintain his emotions. We said, like, avoiding tilt is super important for winning championships. So this guy's got a great mixed bag, and we are going to get right into what it looks like. Oh, and we're going to get a word from Reukifellth. It's going to give us a little tip on how to drink your soda.
Oh, that's right.
All right, here we go, ready to rock and roll. They're going to carry these pods all the way to they go into the observatory, they go to complex. What is your favorite drop? You said you like to drop windmill?
I do like to drop windmill. That's actually usually where I drop.
Yeah, is there a particular reason why you like windmill? Is it the view, or is there something you plan on doing from up there?
Oh yeah, the view is just beautiful. You know, it's great. You could in terms of a strategic sense, you could actually I get a pretty good viewpoint of the whole map, see where people are dropping.
Yeah, so that's what we use it for too. Me and Reukifellth will drop on windmill if there's an opportunity. If we can't drop in cemetery, we'll typically go windmill. And the reason for it is, one, you get a view, you know where people are, you know where you're going to dunk on people, but also 90% of the time, you've got a pretty good shot at getting to the drop first.
Definitely.
So we're going to go into hyperspeed here. Those of you who are fans of Hyperdash, we're going to go into some hyperspeed here as they get just a little bit of pickups. And we're going to talk a little bit about early days gathering of weapons. Now, Thrill, it's been a little while since you've played, but you said you were more partial to, was it SMGs or ARs? What was your favorite loadout?
Look, I'm all about the op.
Oh, really? You're a sniper.
All about the op. All about the op.
Oh.
I mean, there's something that's super satisfying about lining up your shot correctly, or even flicking your shots and just really nailing them. That's my favorite thing to do.
Now, I'm going to let you in on a little piece of information about me. I have terrible aim in literally every game I've ever played, VR or Pancake.
Right?
It's just a problem that I have. I can't spell and I can't aim. It's just everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. As a result,
right.
I hate snipers so much. I'm like, get in the fight, you. But every time I see a good sniper shot, like, it's exciting. But I hate it. This is why, like, when TF2 was out, I was all about that spy. I was like, I'm going to get those snipers back for years of torment. So these guys are getting good position. This is something that you heard Thrill talk about, getting up high ground, as you were talking about with the windmill. You're able to see where they are, but also
exactly
for cover, you just step back. You don't have to build anything.
Yeah, so there's no building needed. You just look around and you could kind of gauge your positioning and see where you need to move next and where you need to move back to. So really, it's just a great positional strategy for sure.
Now they're getting their first engagement. Look at that. He is sniping with an ump at distance, Featherith. This is the kind of danger I'm telling you.
His tracking is insane.
Yeah, this is the kind of... You want to know what's even more insane? The way he's playing on a quest, right? But the way he's playing is... this is why the recording is not super great, but also not super bad, is that he's playing on a virtual desktop. Like, he's playing the PC VR version and streaming it through virtual desktop across his Wi-Fi. So he's playing with some latency. This is...
You know, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty... Really, I don't think that latency is something that... once you get used to it, you could play at any level, to be honest, especially with these numbers of latency.
You could.
Just look at his tracking.
But he is, in my opinion, he's playing with the tiny amount of a handicap. I was like, if
yeah, totally.
You put an index on this guy, you put him in a zero ping private server, I'd hate to see what he would do to people.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're just looking at him absolutely tear people up. Doesn't matter what distance.
Oh man, but that is a testament to the quest itself. Me, Reukifellth, and Econ all play every day on our quest playing this game. Oh, see how fast he reloads that shotgun? You're gonna see some more of that.
Just absolute sleight of hand too.
It's
extremely quick.
Oh man, see, this is one of my favorite things about VR games. It's something I'd always use to complain when I play pancake games, where they do that animation that you get, that you have to wait for the gun to reload, as if it would ever take anybody that long to reload the gun. You're just like, it's driving me crazy.
Right, you know, that's a great thing about VR is that you're only limited. Oh, hold up, look at this. He's just literally sniping him out of the air with the ump, right?
Yeah, he just got a little, I think 15 damage total. He did get a shield, but yeah. How many bullets he put down filled for that? 80?
80? Hey, I mean, 3 out of 80 ain't that bad.
And he's shooting at like 2 pixels, some of these shots. Look at that! That's like that guy's 4 pixels tall.
You know, but whenever you're at this level, you really can't, you know, not take the shot, because you really miss the shots that you never take.
That is true, but there's also like something to be said for the kind of visual acuity you have to see to be able to notice 4 pixels holding still at that distance, and then shoot him with a gun with no sights. You'll never see this kid ADS. He told me that. He's like, I don't ever ADS. He's like, that's aim down sights. I was like, I know what it is.
Right. You know, you think that he almost doesn't know what it is because he doesn't use it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's telling me. He's like, I know what it is. I don't do it. I don't need to. Not necessary. Very early on when they introduced these hip fire sights, that's all I used as well. I didn't ADS because the guns are powerful enough. You just didn't need to. But then as they started balancing the guns, I started having to ADS more because I was getting murdered by people who did.
Mm-hmm.
Except for
and what this really does with the hip fire reticule is it speeds up the pacing of the game as well. You're not having to slow down and take the shots. You can really take more hip fire shots, and you know it speeds up the pace of the game, which I don't think is a bad thing.
Oh, this game is all about speed. They call it the arcade style when they build an FPS game that is about playing fast. The matches are solid 10 minutes. Usually doesn't take much more time than that. As a result, you're able to get yourself a whole lot of matches in for a day. There's a lot of other games that exist in VR that takes forever to find yourself a lobby because there's not enough people, or matchmaking's a problem. This one, since you're not playing against one team, matchmaking's not a super big issue, and you just get into matches so quickly, and then the matches end so quickly. This is why, like, when people start doing VR esports competitions with this, it'll be so much easier to time. All the other types of things that we would do, you never really could gauge how long it was going to take, especially if you did like double elimination brackets. There's no double elimination bracket here. It's not 1v1.
Right.
Well, you know what? While we've got ourselves a second, let's see if we can hear from Reukifellth about his soda drinking mechanisms.
Don't forget to keep sodas in your inventory. If you drink a soda or two, you are able to walk through the pain field without taking any damage. Sometimes you might even heal through the pain field. Another thing about sodas is that once you hit 100 HP, the soda stops working. So you have to kind of time and predict how much damage you're going to take in a given time before your soda goes away. And I believe the soda heals just as much as a banana over time, which is 50 HP.
That is VR Esports World Champion advice there from one of the top players in the game. I play with Reukifellth every night. Well, almost every night. There's a couple times where he's like down on himself because he's like, I think I'm terrible in solos. I need to go play solos. And he'll get a few solo matches in, and he's like, that wasn't any fun. Let's play teams. He can murder a whole server by himself, but the lack of communication just kind of takes a lot of the fun out of it. It is a team game.
Oh, totally. And he was talking about, we'd actually talked about it earlier too, like the totally valid strat of, you know, going through the pain field with you know, soda and just keeping yourself topped up, and a lot of times people won't expect that flank.
Oh, so we got 3 Maddies here climbing this tower, and they're being closed in by Feather. Feather's going to go ahead and do his ump routine right now and try to light them up. Or this might have actually been an MP5. I don't know. They're really kind of the same gun in Featherith's hands. I did not pay attention when he picked it up. But yeah, he's going to soften them up a little bit, puts one down, and then now it's going to get ugly.
Comes in with the shotty and a 2 down. That's a triple kill.
Oh.
That is
They had no idea what hit
dirty.
them. They just stood there like they weren't even realizing they were being shot at.
Right. And it looks like they were really trying to get out of the way. They knew he was coming too. They couldn't do nothing about it.
We're gonna hang out inside this building. We're up high. It's cool. And he's like, I've got 5 bananas. You're about to see how high it gets. Featherith was telling me about that. You know, while a lot of us stack sodas because of everything you could do with them, he's like, my secret is I stack bananas. He's like, that's actually, I kind of don't want to give you this video because I don't want to give that secret away, but, you know, here it is.
Right. He's so confident in his positioning too. He's taking damage,
Look
but
at that
he's knowing
ammo.
that he could deal more damage, and he's just dropping so much ammo.
He heard his teammate didn't have any AR ammo, and he said, "Merry Christmas." Because he don't
Hey,
even
well,
use
that's what
ARs.
teamwork's all about.
He's showing you his wheel. It's like, I don't have any ARs. I have an UMP and I have a DT-11. That is all Daddy needs. Take all the sniper ammo. That is what team play is about. We do this all the time. We say weapons check, ammo check after we get done with the fight. Now, since there are only 6 teams, typically at most you're only going to have 5 fights. So after each fight, it's good to evaluate. Granted, when there's 2 teams left, you're likely to get vultured by the last team if you finish off the second to last team. So you want to,
of course, getting third party is a really big problem.
yeah, you want to know where that other team is before you engage, or you want to make sure that they don't that there's no way they could get you, because you're going to be reloading your guns, or maybe you're low on ammo, or maybe you took some hits, and you don't want to get wrecked that way. I think that we always do is we get high and we try to figure out where both teams are before we decide to engage anybody.
Definitely. It's definitely a better idea to wait until the other team engages so that you can, take the fight on your terms versus the other way around, and before you know it, you're getting flanked.
Oh, man!
And he just gets sprayed down.
So far away. It reminds me a little bit of the way the P90 used to work, because like you get all those tracers coming out of it, you can kind of use that as a laser sight, so you don't really need a targeting reticle. Your gun comes with a laser sight if you don't let go of the trigger. Oh, Feather's just knocking them all down. But will he make it to the end?
Feather's just an unstoppable force at this point. He walks in and he just gets kills. That's it.
Yeah, he's not
No
even playing
questions
with his normal players. You see him often playing with Tammy, and Tammy's one hell of a sniper. I don't like seeing, when I see Feather and Tammy are playing together, I'm usually very, very worried. And Reukifellth will be like, we've got it. And I was like, if you guys just rush in half-cocked like you always do, Feather and Tammy will put you down. Don't do it.
And that's when you pull out the secret strats, right?
Well, the secret strat is they'll rush cemetery because they think they're just going to get him, and I'll run away. I'll run away to the other side of the map. They'll get killed, and then like halfway through the match, I'll like resurrect them, and then they'll like, all right, we're going to be serious now? Man, he's like
just taking pot shots from about a mile away.
Yeah, he's on the ground. We call this ground walking. Usually it's a bad idea, but you can build yourself cover. This is the nature of building cover. We were talking about this on the subreddit. A guy said, I don't know if this is a building heavy game. I don't think I'm going to like that. And I was like, it's a cover shooter, okay? Cover shooters are very common. You need to use cover and shoot outside of cover. The problem is that characters are very maneuverable, and there's a lot of times where the pain field's going to close in on you, and you'll have no choice but to walk through no cover. And is that fair if you have to do that through somebody who has high ground cover like that? No. But if I give you something you can build your own cover, it now becomes fair.
And this is a team game, too. You see, I was talking about earlier, his positioning is so confident. He sat there on the low ground, clearly at a disadvantage, but his team came around and he was at a gigantic disadvantage. The other team had high ground, and they still won the fight there.
Those guys had superior positioning. That's what Reukifellth and Econ and I talk about. Whenever we see that they have really good positioning, I'll evaluate about whether or not I think we can take it. Building towards it is one way to do it. In that situation where he attacked, I wouldn't have done it. There's no way I would have tried to have taken that position from them. I would have found myself another place, hoped that the zone closes in, and that we had opportunity to force him out, because there's a massive disadvantage. Featherith was like, nah, I got this.
Yeah, instead Feathers just really took the entire brunt of their attention, and, they got the dub.
Yeah. Well, it's all about getting those wins, I think, That's easy for me to say. I'm like number 54 in kills right now. But I got those wins.
You do got those wins. You're number 1.
Yeah, so it's funny. We said that on the server. They were looking for tips on how to win. And I was like, here's how you win. Get 2 really good players and just sit back and let them do it.
Hey, that's always a valid strat.
Yeah, it's technically a valid strat.
You don't have to always be the fragger. You could always be the shot caller.
Yeah, that's the big part of what I do and what helps Econ and Reukifellth win a lot of these matches. They do tunnel vision a lot, and I'm always getting up high and surveying the land, and I'm giving them explicit instructions as though I'm standing where they are. So I'm like, he's on your left, he's on your right, he's right above you. Like you have to transinterpolate or translocate the position of the enemies when you're telling people. And I was telling this to Term the other day. It's like, you don't want to just tell me where the enemy is. You want to tell me what I need to do to survive or win. Because that way I don't have to waste time thinking about what to do. You just told me what to do.
Definitely.
And so that's what I do with them, especially when they're rushing in and I can tell we're about to get third-partied, or I'm looking at where the map is collapsing to and I know that we're in a really crap position and need to bail on the fight. If they listen to me, we end up surviving. And so that increases our win rate. That's why when I don't play with them, my teams will, my randos or my other teams will usually end up winning, and my win rate is only slightly higher than theirs.
Right, and I think that's where we'll see a lot of older VR players that have been in the scene for a while coming into this game that maybe don't have the reflexes of, say, our 13-year-old prodigy.
Yeah.
They'll be coming in as in-game leaders and really be taking the charge in a position that aren't necessarily a fragger.
Now you see Feather here stuck with the AK. The AK, again, he's not aiming down sights, even though there's sights on this one. Close range AK is something you will almost never catch me doing because I just can't.
Right.
I can't do enough damage up close. But Feather's like, I got him from behind. It's cool. We caught him in a pincer. It's all good. Now, the AK was the weapon that he used to depend on, and he would even use it to, like, rapid-fire snipe people, but they added enough recoil to it, even if you two-hand it, that he can't do that anymore, which is why he's fallen back on the ump as his primary weapon. Although he has told the developers that in the interest of fairness, you should probably nerf the ump.
No, the ump is just a monster at the current time.
Well, I think that's the mark of a really good player, is one that will say, you know what, this doesn't feel fair in my hands.
Right, and then use it and then win until it's fixed.
I think the mark of terrible players, i.e. people like me, will find hacky and knacky things and just keep doing it. They're like, well,
and just goes on the flank here. Takes one down, two down with the help of his teammates.
It's another triple Maddie team. This is a popular skin.
That's a great flank right there. Just super confident with his positioning and just strafing. I mean, they couldn't hit him. They couldn't hit him fast enough.
Oh, he's turtling. Nope.
Oh,
Rentless got it before he could get there. Feather went for the steal, and he couldn't do it. Not afraid of the pain field, though. I love whenever you take out a player and they drop all this stuff. It feels like they're like a pinata. They're just filled with sweet candy. So this looks like this is the last team. This last team has position. They're up against the pain field, and these guys have the high ground, so they have to build their way to it. But will they be able to make it? This is a really bad situation to be in. As you can see, he has no shield. He had very little health. He's going to go ahead and eat that banana. Doesn't have sodas, so he can't just tank the pain field. He's hoping that the bananas will help him and that he can get enough kills. But he's hitting nothing but shield there. He's going to try to put this last player down. That gets him the advantage that they want. They did see they knocked somebody down, and those guys are running, but then he gets sniped. And they got one guy left alive. We're not seeing the map, so we don't know how many people they have left. Oh, it's 1v3. This is a real bad situation. We'll see if Chopper can actually end up saving this teammate. Oh, wait. Is Chopper down? No, Chopper's not down. Chopper got Rentless up. Looks like Chopper's about to get taken down. Yep. Chopper is down. Chopper died outside the pain field. They're waiting for Rentless to catch up. Rentless actually found himself some heals. If only he had dropped on where Feather's dead body was. There are like 5 bananas on it. It looks like they're getting their way in. Now, see, this is an interesting thing that you don't see a lot, that when somebody goes to take out most of a squad, they know that there's no one else left in the map. But instead of fighting, there we go. There's the end. They know there's no one else left in it. Oh, no, he got him. Was that Flush Gogo?
He got him.
Oh, Flush Gogo is actually a championship player, too, from the EU. He's a multiple-time, world championship qualifier. So they didn't win that one, but Flush Gogo and his team is who they were going up against. So that's, they didn't expect that. I don't think that Featherith is aware of the pedigree of Flush and who he was dealing with.
Right.
That's the fun thing about being in VR esports, is that you know names before the game has been around long enough to have names. Like, you know them immediately. Like, I saw Thunder Pilot and Otto, who were like 9-time Onward World Championship players and brothers, who both have who both also have medical degrees. Like, they're practicing doctors. Yeah. So I saw them playing in a lobby, and I was like, this is not going to be fun.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, man. But having that information ahead of time before they're able to drop on you allows you to be able to deal with them. You approach the game differently when you know who you're dealing with.
Definitely.
Woo! Man, the way he moves his head on 300% speed makes that hard to watch. You're watching it in VR, so that's got to be even worse.
I am watching it in VR, yeah. So it's VRception, Pop 1.
Yes. You're watching someone else play VR while in VR.
Yeah, right? Hey, this is the future.
It is the future of the way we're going to consume things. Oculus venues is a thing. We actually cast there sometimes. Lots of fun stuff happening in Oculus venues, trying to get that one off the ground and more people viewing that way. Oculus, the only headset that stamps its logo on your face.
That is true. I guess Vive goes and stamps it on your back.
Yes. Oh, on the back of your head, at least. You got to be bald to see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going sideways aim. He's got the gangster lean. I'm not entirely sure if the sideways aim helps him deal with muzzle rise, I haven't asked Featherith what that is about, but if it's working out for him, he's still stuck with his AK, but his DT gets the job done.
Oh, yeah. He just comes right in and smashes him.
That was a oof. There was no better response to what he just did there.
Yeah, no contest.
The terrible thing is like, I'll try a DT-11, and literally I'll put 6 shots within that kind of range and miss all of them. I don't know if it's I pulled the trigger too early or too late, but I can't seem to do it. My aim is absolutely rotten. When I have somebody like hit me up on the Discord and complain that I killed them, I was like, I did? I didn't know I killed anybody. I try not to. I just try to hug people in the lobby. Like I was shooting in the lobby. It's like, no hugs, no killing.
Right, you didn't shoot them. They ran into your bullets.
Yes, that's usually, actually, in all fairness, that's probably what happened. That said, ever since watching Featherith play and hearing him talk about the ump, I started just running the ump and just holding the trigger down and praying. I saw a good video of a guy spraying and praying. Oh, this guy's got a little bit left. Is Feather going to get it before his teammates get it? Oh, no, they're totally taking that kill. Chopper gets the kill.
Still took down most of his shields.
He's flanking, though. That guy just stood there.
And nice. Yeah, he just stood there. He just said, I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
Guys, you got to build. You got to strafe. You got to keep on moving. You know, you said you're a big op fan, right? Tell me there's nothing you love more than somebody who holds still.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're holding still, you're dead. That's it.
Oh, man. Oh, I can't hit anything with a sniper rifle. I did for a while there. There was a while that I was able to get stuff. You could smooth your shots out, like you set up like 25% offhand influence. You smooth your guns out to 100%. You can get pretty good with the snipers, but when they're really far away, you're trying to lead a shot. Oh man, is it tough?
Oh, that's where it's kind of weird. Something in VR that I found, especially with faster paced games like this, is that something like an op is more of almost a mid-range flick weapon rather than a long-range, sitting in the back and taking shots, leading shots.
That's pro-level stuff that I couldn't do, but a weapon that works really well that way. Oh man, he is up against the ropes. Is the rest of his team gone?
Oh, and he's down there.
It's 1v5 now. Hopefully they can get some res.
He's got completely surrounded.
This is what we always try to do. You move really, really slow when you're dead. So find the quickest opportunity you can to fly something. Climb something so you can fly. They did not win that one. Actually, if I remember correctly, they ended up having like a bug where they were all dead technically, but they weren't leaving the lobby. So like, all right, just quit. Let's go. Let's get this next match. They got 2 losses out. What's that?
Looks like Feather and his team had just overcommitted just a little bit because they got surrounded pretty quickly.
They were in the killing fields. That's what I call the plains now, the killing fields. You do not do that, especially when there's a lot of players left. And you don't know where the high ground is. What I always do is when the zone collapses, I find what the highest building within that zone is, and that's what I want to take. That's where my focus is. And if I see the zone is forcing me to collapse on the plains, I go around the plains and grab a high building that I think is going to be within the zone. I absolutely refuse to go through the plains on the ground. You're just asking to get killed. And the problem
that makes sense.
And the problem is if you're killing everybody in the match like he was doing, you'll get cocky. And you're like, we're fine. And it's like, but why would you hand somebody that much of an advantage? You might as well play with one of your eyes closed.
Right.
It's a hard pass for me anywhere near the plains. I got killed in the plains so much that like literally I won't step foot on them anymore. It just won't happen. There's this road.
Oh yeah, I mean I just fly through them. That's it.
There's a road up here by the cliffs that the developers had a name. They had a killing name for it as well. They're like Death Road or something like that. But they're like, yeah, don't walk through that road.
I'm sure that they're looking at the heat maps right now, looking at where people are dying.
One would hope that they have heat maps in the game. It's very important for development for you to collect a lot of this data about which weapons are being used, where kills are happening, so that it helps you kind of balance your map out and balance your weapons, as opposed to just getting feedback from players. Because players they'll try to nerf guns they die to, and they'll try to not nerf guns that they use to get kills. So you can't trust the players. As much as I love you guys are not typically honest. With the exception of Feather, he's perfectly honest about that up. He's like, this isn't fair.
They should probably actually buff the op and give it, maybe a 3-shot burst or something. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I tell you who wants you to burst sniper weapons. It's Term. Now, when you're talking about mid-ranging with the op, I don't know if you've tried playing with the Sako lately, especially since they've added that red dot sight.
I have not, actually.
Oh, dude, you can be super violent with it, especially if you're a left-handed shooter, because you can reload it. Term will actually knock people. He'll knock people about, when they're 2 pixels, all the way up to medium ranging, even kind of close with it. And he'll rapid fire it because he's left-handed, so he's got that right-hand reload.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll hear, if he's not on your team, you'll hear from across the field the sniper rifle sound, but being shot like it's an AR. And you'll be like, what? And then you'll
just
see
pumping out damage.
and you'll see like 4 kill notices that will say they're from term, and you're like, emergency meeting. Everybody get together. Hide in buildings, build cover, do not stand outside, walk through the pain field.
Right, yeah. Whenever you see something like that, you have to change your entire playstyle.
Yeah. When it's term, 100%. I have a method for taking him down. I've said this before. A lot of the top players, I know how they play. I know what they want to do. I know my best methods for dealing with them. When it comes to Featherith, my best method for dealing with them is don't let him get armed in the match. Once he's armed, all bets are off. Yeah,
don't let him get a gun.
You can't. Or like if you're going to take out his team, you need to identify which one is Featherith, and that's the only one you kill. You got it first. You got to kill him first. Don't kill his teammates first. While they're really good, they're not as important as taking out Featherith. Take out Featherith, the rest of them will fall. They are really good, but you got to keep in mind I'm playing with Reukifellth and Econ. So if I take out Featherith, the rest of his team, when it's 2 of them versus against me, Reukifellth and Econ, we got him.
Oh, yeah.
Featherith is very hard to predict, and he's a great shot. I leave him alive.
Oh, just so aggressive.
I leave him.
It's ridiculous.
Probably what's going to happen is Reukifellth will round a corner being all cocky, and he'll get insta-killed by Featherith. And then now we're playing without Reukifellth. And now it's Econ and me against Featherith and his 2 teammates, which is not a good situation. Oh, man. It's rough. It's rough seeing these guys trying to deal with it. He's like, you know what? I've lost 2 matches, and I'm kind of done here. I'm going to get the weapons I want. I'm going to grab all these bananas. I'm going to grab this ump, which is what I love to play with, and get rid of this pistol. Who needs a pistol? Reukifellth to play the pistol sometimes.
Looks like he's still being pretty aggressive, but maybe a little bit smarter about his position.
Oh, he's like, hey, what is this guy just standing around? He's just waving. He was trying to make friends. He was barely even armed. He marked the soda. He's like, I don't drink sodas. Soda's bad for you. Banana's a more healthy choice. So now they're on the last set of people, which it's safer to walk through the plains when you know it's only 1 squad. Even more safer if you know where they are. You know they don't have high ground, then it's okay. You can get a kind of an even shot. And I think they knew that they were on this drop over here, so they're like, you know what, it's fine. They do have the high ground of this rock. The fact that Featherith is not building cover stresses me out, but it doesn't matter. A guy peeks out from behind the rock. He knows they've lost.
That's a big pick.
He knows they've lost zone, so now they're screwed. So it's like, I got them.
They already lost their advantage there. Definitely have their mana advantage down.
He doesn't have to rush this rock, but he's doing it anyway because he's like, you know what, I'm just going to get them peaks. You keep putting your head where I can see it. I'm going to bust you. Getting in close, going in with the DT-11. Only did 8 damage. It's all he needed, though.
And that's a dub right there.
Yeah. He's turning this down, turning it around. A new winning tradition for Featherith's team as they do the current meta dropping on Cemetery. Me, whenever my team drops on Cemetery, I'll take a pod to get far out to the outer edge of Cemetery and turn around so I can tell them and mark the people sweeping in behind them. Because almost always, if they see Reukifellth and Econ, they'll just take note of what their skin they're using is, and if they see them drop in Cemetery, they'll just jump right on them. They're like, oh, if we get him at the beginning of the match, we got a chance, which is 100% correct. If you can cheese this at the beginning, you do have a shot. Granted, I'm very much opposed to getting cheesed, so you'll find Reukifellth and Econ, you'll find a hard time finding me.
Right.
It's what happens when you play PlanetSide 2 too much. We call that the dying simulator.
PlanetSide 2. That brings back some memories.
I still play it. But as a result of playing that much PlanetSide 2, my survival instincts are really high. Get that banana time!
Just comes in here and takes down 2 people without even thinking, and then
he's
got 1 health, and he gets. Oh my god!
You're gonna want to ride that feeling
1 health
because he keeps not finding himself any kind of healing items, and he's gonna 1 health this for a while. Oh, it does get him lit up. Oh man, when I have 1 health, I just say I'm dead. Like I don't even keep fighting. He's like, you know what? I'll drink a soda this one time. It's fine.
He's not pinging it this time. It's all for him.
What did Reukifellth say about sodas?
Drink them often.
Yes. Drink all the sodas, carry the sodas. I will usually have about 5 sodas on me. What's really bad is that when we get caught in a really bad firefight that takes out Reukifellth. Oh, bank shot. Ready for the hits? He doesn't get the hits. Chopper actually does the damage before the grenade could go off. Sometimes the grenade goes off a little slow, and you're just like, come on, man.
Right, just waiting for them to not notice it.
Oh, man, he's chugging 2 sodas. He's like, I'm going to get what I get. I got 90 shield right now. I'm feeling cocky. I still got this AK-47.
Diabetes is no problem if you got a dub.
Well, it's virtual diabetes doesn't actually do anything, it turns out.
That's true.
It's like we'll be drinking sodas in-game, but everybody who plays VR esports has water next to the computer. I have to ask him, though. He is 12. The chances are likely that he keeps soda next to the computer and not water, and then it's fine for him. I'll have to ask him if he does that. He's like, no, I'll keep a banana next to the computer. Actually, that would
keep a banana.
That would be interesting.
Banana and soda, gotta get full immersion.
Yeah, that would actually be very interesting if you found out that, because we did that in Echo Arena. Everybody started keeping water and towels next to the computer. It'd be really funny if you start seeing that players for the game realize that the reason there are bananas in game is that the quality testers for Big Box figured out that bananas were like great fuel for winning Population 1 and VR esports in general. He drops the soda and grabs a banana. He's like, I don't need that. Watch that become the new meta too, man. Like, we're all pretty sure that sodas are the way to go. And Feather just says, nah. I need ump, a DT, and 5 bananas.
He's creating the new meta. There we go.
It's whatever works for him. You get that high ground, though. Grab himself another banana. I thought he had enough bananas, but I guess this man never has enough.
I swear that that one hit point incident probably freaked him out a little bit. Wants to be ready for the next engagement.
He does this no matter how many bananas he has. About 1 health, man. Oh, that is always fun when you see somebody clutch. I watched Reukifellth do that recently where we were getting ganked on. Then it was just 3v1 with him, and he had 1 health, and he took everybody out.
Oh, man.
Yeah. When that happens, oh, it's amazing. So he's trying to snipe again with the post-nerf AK-47. Sometimes he forgets that it's been nerfed. He can still get some shots off, though. He's trying to suppressing fire. I think we saw that it was 3v6 right now left on the map. So he's trying not to give up high ground, but he's like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I can find out where this other team is because I don't want to get ganked. That's what the head on a swivel is. He's like, I'm going to go for this other high ground while trying to soften him up for my team. This right here is really good positioning, too. He's like, I'm not going dead on.
That's one thing that you notice. He never stops looking around him.
That's what he was waiting for, that third party. He's like, I know they're over there. He's like, I'm going to banana up. Get ready. Where are you at? I'm listening for footsteps. I got my DT. Say hello to my little friend. And nope, they're still alive. They climbed. The primary team climbed the sign. So he's like, I'm rocking a hard place here. How do I find my way out? Listening for footsteps. Oh, there's somebody. He saw him. He's like, I got to switch to a gun. That engagement distance was too far. That's what always gets me. I get my shotgun ready. I hear footsteps. I poke my head out, and the guy's like a good 20 yards away, and like, oh no.
Right, and then you're dealing 8 damage.
Yeah, him. He gets 2 frames worth of a peek. Is like, oh, switch to AK, and I'm good to go.
And the reloads are just so fast as he takes him down.
This right here, man. He's just in this hidey hole and he's ready to go. And they're all jumping on him. They can't do anything. If they had a grenade, they could at least push him out if the grenade didn't kill him. He's like, nope, this is why I have 5 bananas. Not a problem.
That is why you don't trickle. That's a clear example right there.
Oh, man. That right there is the best case for a breach grenade if I've ever seen one. I stopped carrying grenades a while back because I couldn't kill people, and then we get in those situations where you really wanted a breach grenade. This is a move I've been telling people to try out. There's no team damage in this game, no team killing, right? So you toss in a grenade as your teammate's going in. So if the grenade doesn't bait the player out and they decide to engage your player, they don't hear the grenade, then at least the grenade kills them.
Took some pretty good damage there, but also dealt some good shield damages.
He's got all the bananas he needs to win this. When it's 3v1, we get a little silly because the game's basically over. Oh, DT fight, and he's not getting all of his shots. This guy knows how to dodge.
Yep.
Red 2.0, apparently that's his name. I'm not familiar with Red 2.0, but the way he was moving, I was like, I've got to know this guy's name. He was just dodging.
Yeah, he was really moving around that DT there.
Yeah, he wasn't playing.
Right.
DT fights, man, are rough. Whenever another guy has a DT, I don't go DT versus DT. I build. I build to soak up all of his shots and force him to reload while my teammates come and get him from behind. I'm not fighting that face-to-face.
Oh, no.
That's a hard pass. Well, looks like I forgot to put a cut there. Did I? Oh, you know what? I think that actually was the end of the rounds. I just forgot that there was a cut there. Well, anyway, let's take a look at the stats. All right. So we have Featherith here with 32 kills, throwing up 5,000 damage, getting those 2 revives. As you know, it was 4 wins and 2 losses. They whip by really quick. This game just moves fast. You play for a whole hour and don't even realize it.
So quick, yeah.
Rentless actually picking up some slack for the team with 20 kills and 4,300 damage. Not too bad. Not having to do any revives, not pulling the support gig, which is what Chopper was doing, running support, softening up people from a distance, not getting as many kills. That's about what I get playing with Reukifellth. Econ. I'll get like 4 kills
Hey,
like the
like I
entire
said,
round.
there's that in-game leader. There's a support role. You know, you don't have to necessarily frag all the time.
Yes, I learned to be the medic a long time ago. Actually, we played several matches where Reukifellth and Econ kept getting killed, and I kept being somewhere safe, and I kept rezzing them multiple times. And it's like, you're a medic. I was like, I'm the white mage.
Yeah, right. Well, you can't always have 3 people that are being super aggro or that are, feeding. You need one person that's going to be able to have that support role and bring you up whenever you're down.
Oh, you need the support role. Without it, you're basically dead. Was it
Definitely.
what is it? Out of mana, need a res. Ah! Anyway, so let's take a look at what the leaderboards are doing. Now, granted, these things, they say weekly kills, but I did the math. They're kind of off. I think the weekly kills are like 30 days, and I think the weekly wins is maybe like 10 days. But anyway, we have Stumpy sitting here just short of 1,500. This guy loves getting kills. Alec as well. Alec is actually in a little private group with Econ, Reukifellth, and Term and myself. We trade tips and hang out and play sometimes. Alec will not play with me. I think probably because he thinks I'm annoying, which rightly so. I'm very obnoxious. But he gets a lot of kills, so when I see he's in a match with us, I'm like, oh, here we go. We played one match yesterday. He died.
A little bit of rivalry never hurts.
We played one match yesterday. He died in that match 4 times, and we watched him get 5 times. Sorry, we watched him get res 4 times, and it came down to him being the very last guy. He was fighting 1v3, and he was like, "I'm gonna kill you," but the pain field backed him up into the killing fields.
Right.
He had high ground, but he had nothing to hide behind. So it was just over. As you can see,
well, where would he be without a support?
No, they're gone. They were the ones resing him.
Yeah.
It's like when your res guy goes, what are you going to do? So you see Reukifellth and Econ actually topping the list, and Z-Link as well hitting number 4, which brings us to the top number of wins. Yours truly, Poonanners. I'm going to enjoy this while I can because you will never see my name in there again once they clear this out. It's just not going to happen.
That's shocking. Oh, my.
Oh, world's best player. Yes. So apparently my strats work, even though I kill absolutely nobody. So there is that it got that going for me. As you can see, Econ and Reukifellth, they mostly do play with me, so they are also topping that list. And you have Izzy or Bart, who hails out of Hyperdash, actually doing really well and topping the list. Whenever we run into them in the game, I already have a strategy formulated for dealing with them. I know Izzy or Bart is their primary sniper, so we try to focus on where his hidey hole is or where his nest is and put him down first before we take on the rest of the team. Because without a sniper taking pot shots at you, your other guys can CQC and do what they do. And Reukifellth and Econ are CQC monsters.
Oh, right. And really, half the game really boils down to that. It's pot shots, and then with the flanks and the CQC.
Yeah, as long as you're work cover. Like at their high end, your players know to get in buildings, work your cover. If you're out in the open, it becomes a sniper fest, and that's where you shine with that op. He's like,
hey.
Oh, please, let me guess, on top of the pop one sign, just looking down on the plains.
Oh, definitely.
Is that your life?
Yeah, I mean, you just chill up there. You know, you could drink the soda you don't need. You know, got a couple bananas you can eat. Pop, easy.
The only problem is you got to call out to your players like, anybody can bring me some sniper ammo? Would be nice.
Yeah, that does become an issue.
Yes. Well, that's it for us. Again, I am Poonanners, and this is Thrill. Thrill, thanks for joining us. This was fun. I love this avatar. I'm going to tickle the avatar.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I was very happy to join. And yeah, it was a great time. Great game, great commentary, great players.
Yeah, be sure to check out Thrill on Twitter and YouTube. You can actually get to his YouTube from his Twitter channel. We'll have that linked in the description below.
Yeah, for sure.
Be sure to follow him, man. He's always hanging out in VR chat, talking about life, having a good time, and really great videos reviewing stuff that's going on in hardware and some software. I think you review some games, right?
Yeah, I do games every now and then, but yeah, mainly hardware guy. But I also stream on Twitch with this avatar. This is kind of like my virtual me, if you've seen the real me. So yeah, and
it's
that's
close
what
enough.
I do.
I like it.
Close enough. I mean, yeah. I mean,
getting that color is very hard, though.
Oh yeah, the hair.
Well, it's actually I just noticed they have hard coded in the texture the anime hair low.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I wish I could be drawn like this.
We got to get the lighting just right. Anyway, so thank you guys for showing up, and that is all we got, man. You want to send us home? One last word?
Much love and thrill out.
Thrill out. I like it.